The bag sitting in your closet right now could be worth $30,000 in 10 years. And no, I'm not talking about a safe or a stock portfolio. I'm talking about one specific type of Italian handbag that women have been quietly buying as an investment, and most people have no idea why. Italy has been making luxury handbags for over a century, and somewhere along the way, these bags stopped just being accessories. They became status symbols, they became art, and for a lot of women, they became the smartest purchase they ever made. Today, we are going to talk about Italian luxury handbags, where they come from, what makes them so different, which brands actually matter, and what you should know before spending your money on one. Whether you already own one or you're just curious about the obsession, stick with me because by the end of this, you will see these bags completely differently. Here's the honest truth. The world of Italian luxury handbags is confusing on purpose. You walk into a store or browse online and you see prices that make your eyes water. A Bottega Veneta bag for $4,000, a Prada for $2,500, a Gucci for $3,000. And you think, okay, is this bag actually worth that, or am I just paying for a logo? That is a fair question, and a lot of people get it wrong on both sides. Some women dismiss these bags completely and say it's just branding. Other women buy them without understanding what they're actually getting. And then there's a small group of women who really understand Italian craftsmanship, who know exactly what separates a good bag from a great one. And they make buying decisions that other people look at years later and think, wow, that was smart. The gap between those groups is just knowledge, so let's close that gap. Why Italy? First, let's talk about why Italy specifically produces the best handbags in the world. This is not just a reputation thing, it goes back hundreds of years. Italy has a tradition of leather craft that is genuinely unmatched. Regions like Tuscany, and specifically a city called Florence, became the center of leatherwork in Europe during the Renaissance. Artisans there developed techniques that were passed down through families, through workshops, through generations. The knowledge of how to tan leather, how to stitch it, how to work with it, that lived in people's hands. When fashion houses started building luxury brands in the 20th century, they weren't starting from scratch. They were building on top of centuries of craft knowledge. That is why Italian leather feels different. That is why the stitching holds differently. That is why these bags age in a way that makes them look better, not worse. The big Italian houses. Let's talk about the brands. Not every Italian luxury brand is the same, and understanding the differences will help you make smarter decisions. Gucci is the one most people know first. It was founded in Florence in 1921 by Guiccio Gucci, who worked in London hotels and came back to Italy inspired by the luggage he saw wealthy travelers carrying. Gucci started as a leather goods company. The GG logo, the green and red stripe, the horsebit hardware, these are design codes that have survived 100 years. Today, Gucci sits at an interesting place in the market. It's the most accessible of the Italian luxury houses, in terms of visibility. That means it's also the most copied. If you're buying Gucci, buy from the store or an authorized retailer. Full stop. Prada is a different story. Miuccia Prada took her family's leather goods company and turned it into something that feels almost intellectual. Prada bags are not flashy. They are often nylon, often minimal, often quietly expensive in a way that only people who know. The Galleria bag, the re-edition bags, the classic Saffiano leather, these have become iconic not because they scream luxury, but because they whisper it. Prada is for women who don't need to explain their taste to anyone. Bottega Veneta gave us the baguette and changed what a handbag could mean culturally. The baguette became famous in the early 2000s partly because of a certain TV show, but it has stayed relevant because the craftsmanship is genuinely excellent. Fendi's double F logo is iconic. Their fur and leather combinations are unlike anything else in the market, and their Roman heritage, they're based in Rome, not Milan or Florence, gives them a slightly different energy. Valentino is for the romantic. The rock stud, the studded hardware on clean leather. It sounds edgy, but it wears beautifully feminine. Valentino bags have a drama to them that makes them a statement piece rather than a workhorse bag. If you want a bag that changes your outfit, Valentino does that. Salvatore Ferragamo is the one people sleep on. Ferragamo started as a shoemaker, specifically a shoemaker to Hollywood stars. His understanding of comfort and structure transferred into his bags in a way that makes Ferragamo one of the most underrated investments in Italian leather goods. The quality is there. The history is there. The name recognition is slightly lower than Gucci or Prada, which means resale prices are often more accessible. What actually makes these bags expensive? Let's get practical. When you pay $3,000 for an Italian luxury bag, what are you actually paying for? First, the material itself. Italian luxury houses source specific leathers, calfskin, lambskin, Saffiano, Napa, from specific tanneries, many of which are in Tuscany. The tanning process can take weeks. The leather is graded, and only the best cuts are used. You are paying for material that most bags at lower price points will never use. Second, the labor. A bag at a house like Bottega Veneta can take 12 to 18 hours of skilled hand labor to produce. That intrecciato weave is not done by a machine. The artisans who do this work spend years learning the skill. That time, that expertise, it lives in the price. Third, the hardware. The zippers, the clasps, the rings, the buckles. On a real Italian luxury bag, these are often made from brass and finished with real gold or palladium plating. They are heavy, they feel substantial, they do not tarnish in 6 months like the hardware on a fast fashion bag. Fourth, quality control. These bags are checked, multiple times, by human eyes. The stitching is inspected, the alignment of patterns is inspected. A bag that does not meet the standard does not leave the atelier. Buying how to spot a good Italian luxury bag. Whether you're buying new or buying secondhand, there are a few things to look for. The stitching should be even, tight, and consistent. Count the stitches on the handles. They should match on both sides. The leather should feel substantial but soft at the same time. It should have a smell. Real leather has a distinctive smell that is warm and slightly earthy. Fake leather smells like plastic or chemicals. The hardware should feel heavy. Lift the clasp. If it feels light or hollow, that's a red flag. Press the zipper pull. It should move smoothly and consistently. Check the interior lining. On a luxury bag, the lining is finished. The seams inside are clean. Nothing is fraying. Look at the logo stamp. On an authentic bag, the stamp is even, deep, and precise. On a fake, it's often slightly off. The font is wrong, the depth is uneven, or the placement is incorrect. Buying secondhand. Here's something more women should know. The pre-owned Italian luxury bag market is one of the best ways to get into this world smartly. Platforms like Vestiaire Collective, The Real Real, and Fashion File authenticate bags before selling them. You can find bags in excellent condition for 30 to 50% less than retail. Some classic styles, the Prada Galleria, the Gucci Dionysus, the Fendi Baguette, hold their value so well that you can buy secondhand, use the bag for years, and sell it for close to what you paid for it. Some bags even appreciate. The Bottega Veneta cassette in certain colors, the Gucci Jackie in vintage versions, the Valentino rock stud in black. These are not just bags anymore, they are assets. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you walk into a luxury store. The salesperson is not trying to sell you a bag. They're selling you access to a craft tradition that is genuinely disappearing from the world. There are fewer and fewer places on Earth where people still make things by hand at this level, where the knowledge of how to work leather, how to build a bag that will last 30 years, is still alive and being passed on. When you buy an Italian luxury handbag, you are participating in keeping that tradition alive. And the bag you buy today, if you choose well and take care of it, will be something you can hand to your daughter, or sell for more than you paid for it. The women who understand this don't see these bags as expensive. They see them as the opposite of expensive. A cheap bag you replace every year costs more over 10 years than a quality Italian bag you buy once and keep forever. The math is not complicated. The craft just needs to be understood first. So here's what we covered today. Italy's dominance in luxury handbags is not branding. It's centuries of craft tradition that build the foundation for every major house. Gucci, Prada, Bottega Veneta, Fendi, Valentino, Ferragamo, they each have a distinct identity, a distinct customer, and a distinct reason to exist in your wardrobe. The price of a luxury Italian bag reflects real materials, real labor, and real quality control, not just a logo. Knowing what to look for protects you whether you're buying new or secondhand, and the pre-owned market is one of the most underused tools for women who want to access this world smartly. These bags are not just fashion, they are craft, they are history, and when you know that, shopping for them becomes something completely different. If you found this useful, share it with a friend who's been on the fence about her first Italian luxury bag.